This is the exciting new Zen multi-tool that I just got from Ant Design. This is one of my first Kickstarter programs that I have backed, and I've actually got the multi-tool. So that's pretty exciting, and it does give you more faith in this multi-tool brand. Now, one of the things that we need to talk about is what is Ant Design trying to do with this multi-tool? Now, in the box right here, or on the box, it says quality EDC with innovative designs. So as we look over this tool the next couple of minutes, one of the things that you guys need to know is that I got the stainless steel version. I don't think this is the titanium version. And the implements inside are made of 440C. Now, Ant Design says that they tried to make these up to the standard of Leatherman, and many people would probably say beyond the standards of Leatherman. So these are, in theory, better blades, better tools than even Leatherman provides on their multi-tools. All right, so let's go ahead and dive into it. Now, one of the great things we find on this tool is that there is a locking bit driver. You press this button right here, and we find that it locks in the 90-degree position, also fully open. Uses 1/4-inch bits right there. Pretty nice, seems pretty solid. I haven't really used this tool much. I've just recently got it, and it is more of a premium tool, so not something I necessarily want to carry with work and perhaps lose, because it does come in for you guys, I think around $90. They are out of the stainless steel at the moment, and they only are selling the titanium and I think G10 versions. So they do have 10% off on their website, but somewhere around $80 to $90. All right, so the one-hand opening blade was supposed to be a big selling point. We'll talk a little bit more about that later. I do like this blade design. Seems pretty nice. Then also one of the add-ons that I got was this micro set of pliers. Now it has this little spring mechanism, and then these are actually fairly beefy pliers. I know some people have said that Victorinox pliers on some of their tools, I think they're styled after Wenger maybe, but anyway, some of these smaller pliers, some people have said you'd be surprised how useful they are. And I'm sure if you use these from the Zen, you will have the same idea that they are a lot more useful than you thought they were, because they actually seem fairly sturdy for their design. There is no wire cutter, but I don't know that many people face situations every day where they need wire cutters. I think just a plier function is probably more useful. Now, it is a little bit difficult trying to get this back on there so that it doesn't deploy in the tool, but you can get that back there. All right. Then let's see, one of the next tools that I have is actually this screwdriver, also a ruler or depth gauge on the back. There are ruler markings right there, but a very nice wide screwdriver. I actually find these very useful. It's not a chisel, almost looks like a chisel, but a very large screwdriver. On the other side, not only do we have the knife, but there is an awl. Now, this one right here seems sharp enough that I feel like you could almost use this as a small knife, but I think this is meant to be the awl, I guess, but it does seem to be a little bit sharp. So yes, it does seem like that last tool I mentioned was an awl, and then one of the tools you will get is a small screwdriver, bottle opener, another screwdriver, the rope cutter as well. Now, while from the advertisement, it looks like perhaps the standard package came with the saw and the file, I did not get that. Instead, I do have this set of pliers. So this is a very unique design in that it is very similar to Roxxon. Now, what do I mean by that? Well, this is that same similar design where you can take this out right here. So you extend this lever all the way, and then you simply slide these in and out. Can slide the pliers in and out, and then just flip this lever back into place. And then it also works as an unlocking lever when you have these fully extended. Now, this unlocking lever on this tool is sort of a blessing and a curse in that it works really well, but sometimes almost works too well, and this knife can sort of spring back, almost cutting you. So you have to be very careful in how you deploy it or unlock it. I would definitely probably unlock it this way, just so you know. That can potentially be an issue. Now, I already mentioned this, but this system on the pliers, I feel like it might need a little bit more refinement. It is held on there very loosely. That's another issue. So for this awl, it's just a really weird placement where you can get purchase with your fingernail because it's past where the handle is. And I guess it springs up a little bit, but it's not the easiest to pull out, and depending on where you have it, it can get a little stuck on the lever. So I don't feel like this is a perfect system yet. There's parts of it that perhaps feel a little bit sturdier than Roxxon, and there's parts of it that I do like a little bit better than Roxxon, the Flex system. But then there's other areas where I do feel like could use, a little bit more help. The tools themselves seem pretty nice, but as I already mentioned, there's some of the issues with the unlocking mechanisms, reaching the tools, and then even with these pliers, they have a tendency to sort of come loose on that spring. Not super serious issues, but something that possibly needs addressed in a little bit of a redesign. Now, one of the other things that is nice about this tool is that you can switch the pocket clip on either side. I really do like that it comes with a pocket clip, but one of the other things I noticed is they said this is pretty much adaptable to use pocket clips from major brands. Well, the Leatherman pocket clip doesn't seem to work, which I'm not super surprised. But then I got another knife style pocket clip, and that one doesn't seem to line up with the holes either. So I'm not sure exactly which pocket clip works with this. One of the main things about this tool is they advertise it as a tool of quality. So not only does it have 440C as the tool steel, but also you can upgrade like your main knife to S90V, and they allow you to do that. And also I think some of the other tools as well you can upgrade. So this is for people who want a lot better steel than is in many modern multi-tools. And I know several of you keep asking me, what's it made of? What's it made of? Well, in a lot of tools, they don't tell us, and Ant Design says we will tell you, and we promise to make it in better high quality steel. I think that is a good idea. Let's go ahead, measure this. It comes in around 9 centimeters long, or about 3.5 inches. Bring over the scale right here. Comes in around 3.8 ounces, or when we turn it over, 2 grams, 110 grams. It will be a fairly lightweight multi-tool. Also, you get a screwdriver to change or adjust these pivots. So that's pretty nice. It came in this package right here, and then in the box and the extra blades right there. It does come with the user manual that tells you how to use the button lock, and then the main lock. This right here tells you how to switch out the implements. So a pretty nice system from Ant Design. Is it perfect? Absolutely not. No modular system I have seen yet is perfect, but I think this is one of the better ones. And perhaps as they grow and make new tools, they will even become the best on the market. So let me know what you think. This was just pretty much a first look at this tool, and I will try to include it in some videos in the future.